Deputy High Commissioner. We reaffirm our strongest condemnation of Russia's unprovoked and unjustified war of aggression against Ukraine. Czech Republic condemns the atrocities committed in Ukraine by Russia, many of which amount to war crimes or crimes against humanity. We call for immediate release of unlawfully persecuted and arbitrarily detained Crimean journalists and human rights defenders such as Ahmed Suleimanov and Alexander Sizikov. We further condemn the brutal repression against civil society and human rights defenders, crackdown on independent media, journalists and political opponents in Russia. With respect to the situation in Belarus, we refer to a separate national statement. We urge both Russia and Belarus to release all political prisoners, as well as unlawfully deported civilians, including children, from Ukraine. Czechia condemns the continuing human rights violations in China, such as arbitrary detentions, forced labor, torture, gender-based violence, and denial of cultural rights, especially in Xinjiang and Tibet. We urge China to end the discrimination and mistreatment of ethnic, religious, and linguistic minorities, and we reiterate our call on China to implement the recommendations of the 2022 OHCHR Human Rights Assessment. We urge the authorities in Hong Kong to ensure the rights to freedom of assembly and association and freedom of expression, and to protect civil society independent journalists. We also strongly condemn the sentencing and high number of executions, including of minors and women in Iran. We urge the Iranian authorities to comply with their obligations under international human rights law and to stop deterring Iranians from protesting and expressing themselves freely. Czechia further urges Nicaragua to protect the right to nationality, to grant the freedoms of expression, religion, and of peaceful assembly and association, as well as to cease restrictions of civic space, and immediately release all persons arbitrarily detained. We remain deeply concerned about the widespread human rights violations in Myanmar, the DPRK, and Venezuela, which we address in separate national statements. We further refer to our statements on Ukraine in the respective interactive dialogues. Thank you.